So, hello everyone. I am super excited to have you all here and the amazing conversation we'll get to have. I'm your host Nirav Dave and a warm welcome to Altrusia's global event webinar on Cloud Governance and Security Management Summit. I would like to welcome our first presenter for today, Mr. Nagesh Konduru. We are so glad you could be here today to share your insight on importance of cloud native application protection platform. Nagesh, founder and CEO of Banyan Cloud, he is a technology veteran from Silicon Valley who has spent more than 2 decades at Apple and was responsible for the technology platform powering Apple's hypergrowth system. He is an entrepreneur, engineer, investor, and who has extensive experience in incubating and fostering innovative technology startups. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Mr. Nagesh Konduru. Over to you, Nagesh.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, based on the location where you are logged in from. We are in the digital world and the global world, okay? And I welcome all of you to the Cloud Governance and the Security Management Summit. It's a very interesting topic, honestly. We really see Cloud Governance Summits. I'm honored to talk about the Cloud Native Application Protection Platform. Hope this topic will be interesting to you. I promise I will not bore you, okay? We all have been going through COVID-19 pandemic. It's for a long time. It's almost 3 years. Still, we are calling COVID-19. We are in 2022, right? It's impacted everyone's life in some way. It can be a family member, friend, or a business. But overall, entire economy got impacted, okay? And the positive side of a note is rapid digitalization is really triggered by COVID-19. It's continued to accelerate cloud adoption. These are only one positive sign I see it. And what happens right now, all the traditional businesses really got impacted significantly. The businesses who are successfully implemented their digital transformation efforts are the winners. Absolutely. Who could transform themselves into online stores and a mobile app? They did amazing last 3 years. So what happened when we did a cloud adoption, right? The attack surface is getting wider for the business application. No more we are having apps within four walls of traditional data centers. It's connecting between different SaaS, PaaS, and infrastructure services across the cloud. And what happens now when our attack surface is getting wider, it's creating more opportunities for all types of cyber attacks. That's simple it is. And if you look at recent World Economic Forum 2022 Global Risk Report, one of the top concerns is global cybersecurity failure. Every year they release global risk report, okay? But for last years, many years, it's always cybersecurity is one of the top concerns. Think about from now to next few years, it's absolutely going to be top three, I'm sure. What are the key factors contributing to the cloud security threat? The most important is misconfiguration of cloud resources. The cloud resources come with good number of configuration settings, and trust me, default settings are not necessarily secured. And then, of course, the next is unauthorized access. As the name says, hackers are able to compromise your credential and get into system. It's always phishing. And once you get unauthorized access to your system, it's easy to get into cloud, right? You have S3 access, object storage, and a lot of public IP access you're opening on the cloud. That was the reason people can get in without any VPN, unauthorized access to the cloud resources, okay? The next is shadow IT. What is shadow? It's my favorite one, actually. Nowadays, we see very minimal IT or zero IT, actually, I've seen it, to support the infrastructure. Why so? Because developers are programmatically provisioning the cloud infrastructure. They feel you don't need to have any experts of IT components, actually. So technically, you have a DevOps maximum and developer. That's simple. Okay. And the next is open source software. Why there is a risk with this? Because there is no serious commitment by a vendor for open source for any bugs. It's always open source is more vulnerable for security bugs. Here are the main challenges faced by the enterprises in cloudifying their infrastructure. Okay, of course, everybody is going to multi-cloud strategy. The reason because multi-cloud gives a lot of options. It's not just the cost, scalability, availability. Still, even on a one cloud, people doesn't want a single point of failure. And the disaster side, they want to put in multi-cloud, right? So then, how do you do that? And people have a traditional tools. What happened? You have a tool for networking, compute, databases, DevOps, everything has its own, okay? So when you have a traditional tools of various IT silos, really painful and time consuming to use for a cloud. And you have a lack of qualified personnel. So much change happening in the technology last few years. How do you upgrade the knowledge base? How do you get all these experts in your company? It's very tough, lack of qualified personnel. At the end, you are required to comply to all the regulatory standards applicable to the industry and the region or a country where you are in. By default, what happens, every business, you have to respect and follow the law of the land. So now every country is creating their own standards. There's so many standards evolved to protect their residents, their citizens' data and their identity. That's what's happening now. If you look at how many requirements, standards a company has to meet to be global presence, that's what the company's requirement. The evolution of cloud native applications itself arises from the latest architectural trends. It's all nothing new, but at least 3 to 5 years, I would say that microservices is the only way people are building a services. Then DevOps tools, it's basically CI/CD tools, people are using it, and everybody trying to get into container or serverless. Okay, of course, multi-cloud is our favorite. So think when you have all these architectural changes, which makes the industry to evolve cloud native applications. That is the story behind it. What happened when you have a cloud application getting in the market so that they can provision their applications wherever they like, which of the cloud they like. You can just move on, okay? Because your container is already, right? But these applications are driving the integrated security approach. When you say integrated, it starts from the development to deployment, CI/CD. It can be GitHub, Jenkins, Chef, Ansible. All this goes together into deployment, into runtime. Runtime is a huge, okay? And basically what we are doing is it shifts the security focus from traditional IT silos. I just said, right? Every infrastructure component, you have a different tool to monitor and to secure. So now what's happening is people doesn't care infrastructure because most of the pain is taken care by the cloud, right? So what's happening now, it's focused to application workloads. That's simple it is. How do you secure a given application workload? It can be e-commerce, it can be a messaging app, right? So basically just focus on it and try to do entire life cycle. That's a trend. It's getting on there. That's what cloud native applications is driving it. So far good. This is where this Gartner introduced this nomenclature actually a year or 2 years ago. So what happened is right now, when you have an integrated platform that protects end-to-end cloud native application, that's called cloud native application protection platform. People call cloud native security production platform too, security platform, but eventually it's a CNAPP. If you design any app CNAPP, then there should be one tool which can cover end-to-end of cloud native application. That's where we come into picture. Okay? Perfect. We just released this product. It's like almost like 2 months. Okay, we have been working on this. We have a people of a lot of data is a passion. To be frank, it doesn't matter how much infrastructure it is. At the end, is our core DNA is data. That's where it lays entire my 2 decades of experiences and data. So we built everything with zero trust and a data security first principles. And when we architect entire this product protection platform for cloud native applications, we want to make it really simple. That's simple. And we want to secure the infrastructure and governance. Without governance, there's no point in discussing the security. Okay. This is exactly our mission. We want to create an unparalleled experience to cybersecurity platform, mainly starting with multi-cloud, multi-tech. We all talk multi-cloud, but we ignore multi-tech actually. What's happening? There's so much tech stack right now. You go and check the computing, storage, right? It's a SaaS services, queuing system, databases, everywhere, a lot of choices, so many vendors. And a lot of tech stack, you want to go for it to make your application resilient, and it's very tough to manage, right? So we want to make it simple governance of multi-cloud, multi-tech. That's exactly it is. And eventually, it's a one platform which acts as CNAPP capabilities, okay? I'll talk about it. We are going to add so many features onto Banyan Cloud, much more than CNAPP. Even someone can be a hybrid approach. Someone can have few things on-premise, few things on a cloud. Still, we can support it. This is a model we are getting in, and a hybrid model. But absolutely, we have 100% CNAPP capabilities, and we're working on a few more things. Okay, and the secret of the sauce here is real-time monitoring and compliance with regulatory standard. This is really, honestly, it's a very complex. If all the people who work in enterprises, they know you have IT teams. I'm not talking development teams. You have an infosec team. It's everybody look at the stack differently. Infosec can have red teams and all this stuff. Okay. And again, you have an IT team is building with their own best practices. So eventually, by doing the audit twice in a year, once in a year, will not protect your business. What you need here is, like a home security, what you need is a real-time monitoring of your infra from end to end, starting from VPC, subnet, storage, compute to database up to the object. You need the monitoring and capabilities to check, are you really complement with the standard what you have. That is the main capabilities of this product. If you look at, there are 4 core features of cloud native application protection platform. The most important was people call as a CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. This is where we continuously monitor and secure the configuration of the cloud workloads and resources. And it's a multi-cloud. When I say cloud here, it's a multi-cloud. The next is data security. We support all the prevalent data security and privacy regulations like GDPR and California Privacy Act. All these regulations we support for most popular data technologies. And shift left. This is a new trend in the industry. You want to secure application software at the early stage of the deployment. So when you're codifying the infrastructure, you are a Terraform or a CloudFormation kit, that's where you need to make sure you check whether are you really creating infrastructure resources as per the industry best practices in the secure form, right? And also patch management. There's so much software gets into this place, right? Static code analyzers. All this comes into shift left, this practice, DevOps, at the early stage of the life cycle. Cloud entitlement management. What does it mean? The only way you can be successful is with the least privileged strategy in your company. When you have hundreds of people are working on different roles, right? Different responsibility in the company in a service reliability engineering and infrastructure, DevOps, SecOps, and multi-cloud. You need to have a visibility, observability of who has the privileges, what is it doing, what really someone worked on any cloud research last 24 hours. Unless you have a visibility of people actions, what they are doing it, there's no way practically implement least privilege study. That's where we discover all the audit data from various sources. Have a quick glance at the product demo I'll show you, but we take the audit logs and the database logs. That's where we'll try to customers show it. Okay, someone is trying to do something. There's change happening on your system. Okay, these are the 4 features. As I said, we just went live less than 2 months ago. The current capabilities is we support 5 cloud platforms. The most important, of course, AWS, GCP, Azure, OCI, DigitalOcean. Okay, these are the clouds we support. We create unified capabilities across all the 5 clouds and 5 data technologies. The most data popular technologies we took, which was ignored, it's a database side. We start with Oracle, it's the most business applications uses, and MySQL, Postgres, SQL Server, including MongoDB. And we are trying to get into DB2 and all. So we are trying to get into most of the data technologies which is used by the industry to store your critical data. And we already have 1,000 plus security controls across all the clouds and data technologies and infra technologies like container scanning and Kubernetes. A lot of security controls were built it. We have more than 1,000 controls across all the tech stack. And look at here, 20 plus regulations. Seriously, we have more to add it. Even we didn't realize as we work on how many regulations in the industry people are using it. The most popular, of course, SOC 2 and ISO 27001 and GDPR. But every country, they're creating their own, right? China and Australian and Dubai have their own controls. India is coming IT Act. There's so many regulations, industry is evolving it. So it's a very challenging to get expert in the regulation standard as well as the tech stack to fusion both of them, help the customers. This is our current capabilities and many more to come in next 2 quarters. Okay, quick demo I'll show you guys. Sorry, if you don't see me, you can just tell them. I would guess you are seeing the screen, the cloud compliance. For demo purpose, we can't show the customer data. So what we're doing is, let me show how it looks from the beginning, right? Let's say you have a customer, okay? And the customer has 2 tenants, okay? One is an AWS, other is a GCP, okay? So AWS customer has 4 regions, okay? Global, East, 1, 2, and West, and GCP has 5 regions, okay? And overall, this customer has 82 controls which are applicable to its workload and resources, out of which only 40% is complained. You can see, where is it? How much percentage in each control domain, storage, compute, and databases. How good we are doing in databases, how good we are doing in networking side, right? So this is where we position and show them. And most of the infrastructure guys, they like to see resources, how the resources are doing it. How is the networking doing? How is IAM doing it? How is the compute doing it? There are only 28.5 is secured on a compute, okay? Like RDS databases, it's 40% is a secure, okay? So like that you can see it. And let's say go to AWS, right? And if you go to AWS, you get anything. This is a VPC, it's a security group. I pick up a control. Say, let's pick up the 150% control. Look at here. You have 4 VPCs. 2-hour complaint, 2-hour complaint. Okay. You can always check. You don't need to log into cloud and check the complaint. Why that config is not compliant. You can literally open the check the JSON. Okay. You can go and see it. And what is this, right? What a control ID. It says ingress traffic to remote server administration, port from all not to be allowed using security groups. Okay. And you want to see it. What are the regulations really this control? For demo purpose, we just kept a lot of regulations here. But based on the customer, we give it 3, 5, 10, how many regulations they need it, how many regions they like it, okay? If you just go and look at it, right, and let's say SOC 2, on a SOC 2 regulation, which control it really is impacting? This is what exactly is impacting it. See how simple it is. Most of the time, infrastructure guy doesn't even have access to this, okay? Only auditors knows it. Let's say you have a credit card data with your system. It's a PCA data. You can literally look what control you are unable to meet the requirement, right? How simple it is. You can literally scan from the regulation to the service types. You can do anything you like it, okay? And let's say compute, okay? If I take the compute, all the 6 instances not complete. That's simple it is, okay? So now literally you can see it. What are the resources? What's happening? Right, and let's go back to Lambda. Okay. Lambda, you're using serverless functions. That particular function, if it's not compliant, see, the control says dead letter queue to be configured for Lambda functions. So precisely you can tell this particular function is impacting these complaints because people are using serverless logic. You can pick up how you like it. That simple it is. Okay, it's pretty easy actually. And you can go to GCP and then it's a lot of controls. It's the same, right? And I can pick up computers, which is always our favorite. And okay. This is the control area. Disable, enable connecting to serial ports for computing instances. That's exactly Google. And all the standard with CAS benchmarks and all the cloud industry best practices, you do have it. Everything in that. Literally, you don't need to go and search anything. What is AWS best practices? What is CAS benchmark? You would show everything. That's what it is. And let's go back to inventory. Okay, what happens when you have a lot of assets across the world? Okay, it's not just the complaints, right? How many assets you have? Most of the people, the way our tool works is we discover, self-discover, we do everything. We just need to create a user ID. That simple it is. Most of the places people were shocked. We showed so many resources which they didn't even know that the developers created. There are hundreds of even snapshots just sitting idle somewhere. Okay, there's so many resources they didn't even know why they created it. So we show every asset resource inventory by the cloud. Okay, we go to the cloud AWS. This guy's created 157 across 4 regions. AWS. Go and say, look at it. Okay, he has 44 resources in compute, EC2. Okay, right. Okay, look at, you have multiple volumes. Some volumes are complete, some volumes are non-complete. Okay, even if you're looking at your inventory, you don't need to go and check the complaints, how secure they are. Okay, now you can check, okay, it's compliant, it's not compliant. What happens? Where is it really connected, this volume? You can see the instance where this is connected. That simple it is. Okay, you can go how you wanted it. You can see the dependencies and is it really secured or not? Is it you can see change it, right? I'm not sure if it is there, but if you have changed, someone has done it, you can literally can see it. Okay, so elastic IP, load balancers, you can pick anything you like it. And let's pick up this. If anyone has changed any history, perfect. Look at this instance. This is compliant right now, but it was changed. It was non-compliant actually. So before change, it was non-compliant. Now it's compliant. You can track the entire history, how the config is changed on the cloud by your folks, and how it's influencing on the compliance. That simple it is. And you can always look at the config. Okay. And so far good. So then I show GCP also. Yeah. It's a Cloud SQL, RDS, AWS call as it. This one, and here is a Cloud SQL. And you can pick up how you like it and then use it. It's pretty simple to use it. Okay. If you're Postgres, yes, it's non-compliant. Okay. This where it looks cloud security and compliance, and then we do have a databases, we do have audit logs, a lot of things. In the interest of time, I don't, but we would. Okay, back to it. We would definitely love to onboard your cloud stack, and we can really work with you. And a lot of customization we allow for customers to set risk metrics and then custom baselines and custom roles. A lot of things we haven't built, so that it helps. If you take the startup with a 2 people company to the largest company on earth can use this product. That simple. We try to make this product. And thank you all for being here. And it's very insightful. And thanks to the organizers for allowing me to speak about very important topic, CNAPP, Cloud Native Application Protection. Thank you.